Working during the pandemic has been quite stressful, especially since we work in this environment with children that are immunocompromised. So it's made us have to be more aware of what we do, not only here at work, but also in our personal lives. And so it's just been really challenging to juggle it all and make sure that we're doing everything and following protocols and safety measures that are in place to protect us and also extremely protect the children that we work with.
Is the fear that I have, thinking that I can get sick and then come to work and get my kids sick. I think that's been the biggest challenge, making sure that I'm okay in order to be able to give the care the kids need safely. So I've been taking care of myself more than usual just so the kids are not going to get affected.
The biggest thing that has changed has just been having to change our processes. And our kids have a lot of things changing outside of the clinic in the way they go to school or go to the grocery store or spend time with family and friends. So making sure that we can be a constant for them and providing the same efficient care, the same good quality care, and just being, kind of the same place that they can come to that's not changing with everything else changing outside of here.
So I think that the pandemic has its pros and its cons. One of the cons is that kids have less interaction with friends, but that's also a pro for our kids because then they are locked down more. But now it's not so much because I have cancer. It can also be because of the pandemic, or it can be because we're just all staying safe and it's not necessarily that they're as singled out maybe. And same with the mask thing. So
by us wearing masks now in the clinic, I feel like it resonates with them. They don't feel so alone and isolated as far as why do I have to wear a mask and no one else around me is wearing a mask. I feel like now that they see everyone else wearing a mask, they have some normalcy in a life right now that probably doesn't have a whole lot of normalcy.
I feel that they are much more cautious when they're outside of the clinic. They are careful with who they're around, who they spend their time with. I know they wash hands much more often. They just take time to make sure that they're being safe before they come in here as well.
So I think the biggest thing is that when the kids come to the clinic, they come with one parent only. Before the pandemic, they were able to bring their siblings, two parents, so they felt more supported. Now it's like they are only here with one parent and that's it. I think that was a big change, even for the nurses, because we were able to get to know the siblings, the other parents, and then now that kind of changed.
So whenever I started at Cure for the Kids, it was already in the midst of the pandemic, but I've really looked forward to whatever life looks like outside of pandemic life and what our clinic will look like in the future. I've heard that the families get to come with both parents, sometimes siblings, and that the whole clinic is just filled with a lot more laughter and joy whenever it looks like that.
I think the pandemic is just proving how resilient kids are. These kids continue to adapt to the changes that are being thrown at them and continue to be joyful and happy and come in here with smiles on even though so much is changing.